Hello Jr4, let's start concept 2 in theme 3, which was talking about the fuel. We all know what's the fuel, but we didn't know the exact meaning of fuel. Fuel is any substance that produces thermal energy when it is burned. Like what? Like the oil that we put in our cars to let it move, like the coal, natural gas, and also wood. So, fuel is any substance, if we burn it, it produces thermal energy. And we all know that the fuel burns inside the car engine, allowing the engine to rotate the wheels, so without fuel, the car will not move. But only we need fuel to let our cars move? No, there are many uses of fuel. Fuel is used for several purposes, such as cooking food. We need in cooking food the coal, natural gas, or wood may be used. And also in generating electricity. We took in the previous lesson, we take the coal. We said that we will take the coal in the electric power station, burn it, producing thermal and kinetic energy, then generating electricity. So we use the coal, natural gas, and oil in generating electricity. And also in warming, here in warming, we use coal or wood. And also in operating all means of transportation, like cars, like buses, and so on, we use gasoline, oil, or natural gas may be used. So we use the fuel because we need the thermal energy that is produced from burning it. We can use the thermal energy in different purposes, such as in cooking and also in generating electricity, like we said. And we all know from the previous lesson, each energy chain, each flow of energy from one form to another should start with the sun that gives us light energy. So the light energy is converted into chemical energy that is stored inside the coal. Do you remember the coal is formed from all the dead trees buried for millions of years? Then when burning the coal, we will change this chemical energy into thermal and kinetic energies in the electric power station, then producing electrical energy transferred through the electric wires. And in cooking, we use the light energy from sun, transferred or converted into chemical energy stored inside the coal, and then converted into thermal energy when burning the coal so we can cook the food with it. You have to know that the gasoline is a fuel that is made from oil. So now we call the fuel is one of the most important resources of energy. But what is meant by resources? Or what are the different types of resources? Resources means things give us energy. Resources of energy means things give us energy. We have two different types of resources, but let's take, for example, here solar energy. We take energy from the sun and also the energy from the coal. What is the difference between them? We have here two different, both of them, they are resources of energies. But what is the difference between the coal and the solar energy? Let me ask you a question. How long does it take to form the coal? We said from the previous concept that the coal is formed from very old trees from millions of years. It takes millions of years to be formed, while the solar energy, we can get the solar energy every day. But the coal, can we see new coal in our lifetime? Or we have to wait 300 million years or millions of years to get new coal? Of course not. It's impossible. So we cannot see new coal in our life. So we call it the coal non-renewable energy resources. Again, we call it non-renewable energy resources. It can't be renewed easily. And the solar energy, we can get it every day. We can get new source of energy, of solar energy every day. So we call it renewable energy resources. Renewable energy resources. The renewable energy resources, they are the resources that continually renew every day or replace the part that has been consumed. Every day we replace the part that we used the day before, so they will not run out easily. But the non-renewable, they are resources that run out when consumed, used at a rate faster than they can be replaced. Like the coal. We finish the coal in a few years and it's formed in millions of years. So this is non-renewable energy resources. The renewable energy resources can be replaced after a short period of time, while the non-renewable energy resources can be replaced after a long period of time. Renewable like what? Like water, solar energy, and wind energy. Again, we get energy. Our water and wind are sources of energy. Yes, they produce kinetic energy. The movement of water and the movement of wind, they produce kinetic energy, which then we can use them to generate electricity. So water and wind are sources of energy, and they are natural resources because made by God. And what about the non-renewable energy resources that can be replaced but after a very long time, like the coal, gasoline, oil, and natural gas? We can summarize them in C-O-N, con. So the non-renewable energy resources, coal, oil, and natural gas. Now, what about fuel? Is a fuel renewable or non-renewable source of energy? Actually, we have two different types of fuel: biofuel and fossil fuel. Biofuel, it is the fuel that is produced from living organisms that can be planted like plants. So once the plant grows, the biofuel is formed. While fossil fuel, it is a fuel that is produced from old living organisms, plants or animals that were buried and decomposed. Decomposed means its particles separated over a long period of time. So again, the fossil fuel is produced from all the living organisms, but the biofuel is produced from living organisms that lives in our lifetime. So the biofuel that formed once the plants grow in our lifetime, is it renewable or non-renewable? Yes, renewable energy resource. It is continuously renewed as plants grow, so it's known as renewable fuel. While the fossil fuel, it's non-renewable energy resources because once it is consumed, it runs out faster than it can be renewed. Biofuel like what? Like wood, the oldest fuel that is still used all around the world in warming and cooking food. The oldest ancient people, they used the wood as a fuel to warm or cook food. Ancient means old people. Charcoal is made from wood and it is one of the most important forms of fuel. So it's made from wood, made from trees. Once the tree grows, it forms. And some types of plants, such as grass, corn, and wood chips, can be used in making a liquid fuel. So what is the primary source of all of these? All of these, the wood or the charcoal from wood and trees or plants, all of these, they are plants. From where do they get their energy? Yes, they get their energy from the sun. So the primary source of the biofuel is the sun. What about the fossil fuel? Fossil fuel, they're non-renewable fuel like coal, oil, and natural gas. Oil and natural gas are formed when the remains of marine organisms, sea animals, were decomposed. And the coal is formed from the remains of plants are decomposed. Decomposed means its components are separated. Decomposed means its components are separated. Okay? So they are made of plants or animals that feed on plants. So what is the primary source of the fossil fuel? Also the sun. So the primary source of biofuel and fossil fuel is the sun. So which one of the two types of fuel we should use them more than the other? Of course, the biofuel. We should keep the fossil fuel safe, conserve it. The fossil fuel is a non-renewable energy resource. We should use alternative resources from the fossil fuel. Why? Because the fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, and oil take millions of years to be formed, as they are consumed faster than they are formed. Once they are used, they start to run out. So why we should conserve them? Because they cannot be renewed easily. But this means that we shouldn't conserve the biofuel? No, we should conserve the biofuel. Do you know that many trees grow a few centimeters each year, while some other trees reach their full height in period nearly equally the human's lifetime? This means that the growth of these trees takes more than one human's lifetime to complete their growth. And we come and get and cut it in a few hours, we will not find another trees. So although the biofuel is a renewable source of energy, but it should be conserved or rationalized. Rationalized being aware while using it. Rationalize being aware while using it. Using wood as a source of energy requires cutting down trees. Rapid cutting down trees, it has another name called deforestation. Again, deforestation. DE means remove. So deforestation means removing the forest, but in a rapid or very fast way. Rapid means fast. This causes negative effects on the environment. Therefore, the wood we use should be continuously rationalized, being aware while using it so that it will not run out.